Fix your mindset, and you too can own several $1,000 booster boxes that you bought for maybe $100 or $200 or $300. What's up, guys? And this is MT Angel. I'm here to talk a mindset video with you. And here's the problem with a lot of people when they're trying to learn or pursue goals is they get shaken out of what they originally thought, or they change their mind, they back away, they get impatient. There's all these emotions that really block someone from getting the thing that they want and getting it as fast as possible. And so I'm here to really stress the fact that, a lot of people want someone to tell them everything what to do, or maybe they're waiting for an angel to come and save them. But really, it's you that has to make the choices. It's you that has to be the one that makes the hard decisions and the tough plays and sits through everything. And if you're going to be spending, 24 hours every day with yourself, there's only so much that someone like me or a YouTube video can really do for you. You can wait for the right video, or you can start working on the way you approach it. And that will run much farther with you. So I'm going to give you some advice on how you can change your mind, change your mentality, and change, it's your choices. So how can you make the choices needed to be someone who's holding a case of something like Lord of the Rings special? So, step one, let's not do steps. Let's just talk about it. Here's the problem. When these products come out, everyone's sloshing their opinions around. And a lot of them are wrapped with a lot of emotion. It's stuff like, well, right now I don't like the product, or these hits suck. Now, let's take Spider-Man for an example. The Spider-Man booster box, right now everyone's saying the hits are terrible, the hits are trash. But there's a lot of cards that are considered in the short. A lot of cards. So why do you think that these cards will remain forever trash, or there will be no use cases for any of them? Sometimes it takes some time for stuff to get discovered, or it takes some time for other sets to come out, for some synergy to come out, or different things. Or maybe there's a card that's actually pretty playable that is right now underpriced because maybe it's only a rare or a mythic. But if everyone's getting that one card and you're opening the box just for those one cards, that's where a lot of the EV can come from, is just these hits that everyone's chasing. Here's a good example, is Stock Up from Aether Drift. Stock Up took a little moment for people to actually start buying. And it's an uncommon, and it's a $10 uncommon. That's because if I'm someone who's going to open up a box of Aether Drift, I'm going to want my money back out of it from something. So whatever that card is that you want is probably going to help make up the EV or the price for the box. So there's going to be some arbitrage there. Or not arbitrage, sorry. The reverse of that, where, if everyone's selling all these cards for pretty much dirt cheap, everyone's just going to buy them up instead of opening boxes. So instead, these card prices are just going to go up a lot if no one's opening the boxes for them. So that's definitely what could happen with Spider-Man. And here's another thing, is that everyone's considering that all of the extra cards and the repeat chase hits and stuff like that, they're not considering that. They're not factoring that in. And some of these cards, most of them, every time they make these like Through the Ages type cards, or these special guest cards, they put hyper playables. So you're almost accepting that if you're someone who's saying the cards suck, you're saying not only is there no use for these cards, there's no people who want these cards in their deck, you're also saying that in the future, none of these cards are even good enough to be used. You're also saying the special guest cards have no value, which some of them are crazy good cards. And here's one common mistake people make. They'll look at a card like Ponder or Lightning Bolt and say, that's a $1 card. Well, in what variant? The repeated, reprinted Commander deck version that they include for bulk for Commander deck, or the special secret layer or super whatever art, which this is going to be in that category. So it may be a $1 reprint. But what's the true value of a unique art $1 reprint? Especially one that people might eventually want for years and years, like some of these Spider-Man ones. I mean, I'm going to almost promise you that in 5 or 10 years, there's still going to be someone who likes Spider-Man, sees that art, and says, I'm going to get that one above all the rest. It doesn't matter what they make. Someone could just be really into Spider-Man like that, or want to make a Spider-Man deck. So a lot of these things will carry the price point for a box like Spider-Man. And so that's actually a reason why you would want to buy it, even if people are negative right now. You want to start now to buy your product when the price is only $400, because from $0 to $400, let's say it could go to $0. You're at most you can lose $400. Let's say it completely goes to $0. At most you can lose $400. But there's a lot of boxes that aren't very good or weren't considered very good that are moving to 500 plus. When Foundations came out, no one was really too excited about it. They said it was going to get reprinted forever. There was a lot of negativity. When Lord of the Rings Special came out, there was a lot of negativity on that. They were saying that it's just a rehash of some money grab set. And there's a lot of secret layers that have some crazy value that people say, it's just a reprint. This is $3 or $4 of singles. Come on, these secret layers can't hold up value, and the cards are holding up value. So, another reminder is, in the future, if you expect this box to go to $1,000, well, you're hoping it goes up by $600. That's more than you could possibly lose. So if you think about it, you're getting in at a good price. The most you could maybe lose, I'm gonna be realistic, it's gonna be like $100 from $455 at Amazon, maybe $150, maybe it goes to $300. Let's say $200. Let's say it's really bearish. Most you can lose is $250. But look at all the surrounding similar boxes. Even something like Assassin's Creed, some of these things are just rebounding and climbing higher. So realistically, I don't think you'll lose any money, if anything, if you're buying it at these open market prices, the MSRP price. And the sky's the limit. In 3 or 4 or 5 years, you don't think that these boxes have the chance to rise back to $1,000? I mean, it was doing it when a pre-release happened. Once the supply's gone, it's going to be pre-release supplies. So you really just gotta, sometimes just gotta say, maybe I'm trying to outsmart the market too much, and maybe I should be a bit more realistic and patient. And I would highly advise that. And here's one thing: a lot of people who are watching this, you've probably once bought cryptocurrencies. And the prices you were buying those cryptocurrencies were probably many, many times lower than the price that they are today. And the thing that made you sell was going to be impatience or emotions or short-term emotions, or you saw the price go down or whatever little thing, or maybe you saw an article that says these coins are useless. And that reminds me a lot of what they're saying about Spider-Man right now. They're saying these cards suck, they're bad. Is overpriced said, it's going to crash down lower and all this stuff. So really, now is the perfect time. On Amazon, every so often, these boxes are getting canceled and thrown back up for sale for $4.55 a box. That is an amazing entry price. And even better, if you have a 5% Amazon credit card, let's say your normal credit card is 2%. So, 3% off from that price, another like $10 off. So maybe you consider it $4.50 or $4 something a box. That's almost going to be the best that you could ever get for something that's a universes beyond like Spider-Man. And now that the price is lower, if you were someone who said, man, I wish I could have pre-ordered this box at $600 and it went to $800, $900, $1,000, and now it's back going to $450, and you're not pre-ordered? What are you doing? What are you doing? Just saying. Great price to get in. And give it some time. Don't sell when it moves up $100, moves up $300, and that's still a nice time to leave. And if you have some and you want a dollar cost average into your sales, consider it, sure. But at least hold a couple boxes for 5 years from now, when these boxes, even if they were to be reprinted, because I know some people are speculating that maybe that's why they don't have serial cards, is that they want to reprint it. Maybe they do get reprinted, but you know that Disney doesn't like that they have Spider-Man at all, right? You know that they're not going to let them continuously reprint this, right? So this is not going to be like Lord of the Rings where they're printing it like 3, 4, 5 years out. This is going to be something that never gets reprinted again, just like the other boxes, just like Bloomburrow, just like Wilds of Eldraine. And in 5 or 10 years, if you think someone will want to buy Spider-Man collector boxes from Magic the Gathering, which I can almost promise they will, then this is a great buy. Because in 5 or 10 years, how many will be left on the market? Keep in mind that all these expensive collector boxes haven't even been on the market for 3 or 4 or 5 years. So give Spider-Man a good chance. Hold it for 5 years, and you too may be holding a box, a collector box of Magic the Gathering that is worth $3,000 to $5,000 that you picked up back in September of 2025 for under $500. That's a pretty nice return. And it's been happening with other boxes, and I can almost guess it's going to happen with Spider-Man. Maybe it doesn't hit 3,000. Maybe it hits 2. But 4x in 5 years, even 10 years, pretty good. It's pretty good. It's better than most of your investments that you could ever consider. And that's where I'm putting my bet. Let me know what you think in the comments. Maybe you think that there's no way that you should be banking on something like Spider-Man to do the same as these other collector boxes. Maybe you think I'm giving bad advice because it's like, hey, how dare you tell someone to spend $500 on a box of cardboard? And I understand, I get it. It can be a lot of money for people, but think of it like this: if there's a way you can tuck that money, fling that money into the future for future you, and still survive, I would say something like this is a pretty good bet on making some nice fat returns. And I put my money where my mouth is. I got some boxes on Amazon pre-ordered. Got a good 10 boxes. Maybe I'll have 11 if one of my other contacts comes through. And we're going to write it out like that. Thanks again, guys. Catch you later.